Hey, Chris back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and we have some content we want to share with you guys. We did some work in the fish room yesterday, some updates, some added fish, stuff like that. We haven't made a video in about 4 days, so we're gonna show you what we got, and hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, it's usually Tuesdays is water change day. The 175 gets a 50% water change once a week. And the rest of the tanks, we alternate 10, or we have right now 22 tanks, so we do 10 at a time, or 11 this week, 10 next week. So we rotate them anyway. And we did some different things in the fish room we want to show you guys. Before I do that, I wanted to come on here and say we had a video, fish room tour part 1 that has 1,500 views, which I'm just blown away by that. It's crazy that we've actually had that many people watch one video that we have. So it's pretty crazy, but we're very happy about that. But we do want to apologize for the glitch in the beginning where Corey is in the background on the TV. My old GoPro, I thought we had an option where we could delete the surround sound or the sound in around where I was filming, but obviously it didn't work, and you could hear Corey on there, and it's pretty loud, and it does take place within the first 2 minutes of the video. So we did explain that to some people who complained about it, made a comment about it. We do apologize for that, and it won't happen again. I'll make sure the TV's off. And like I said, that was old equipment. I can't really go back and edit it now because it's on old equipment and it's pretty much gone. So I told you guys I wanted to get all that content off the old equipment, and then we're moving to new equipment. So I have a new phone, a new GoPro, and new stuff. So from moving forward, we're going to be using that stuff, and we won't make that mistake again. It's just not going to be. We won't even have it on, because even if the option was there, it didn't seem to work. So moving forward, we won't have that glitch happen again, and we do apologize, and we actually thank you guys for watching. And now to the content we have that's new. Okay, the TV's off. Actually, the TV's not off. It's on, but the sound is down. So we won't make that mistake again. But anyway, just want to show you guys what we did as far as updates in the fish room. Now, this tank here, we added fish. That's all we did. If you look closely, I'll do a close-up, and I don't know the name of these guppies, but you can see the tails. They all look like Dumbo guppies, guppy tails. There's 5 of them in there. I lost one actually in quarantine. You can see they're very, very pretty. The rest of these guppies are muck guppies, but my wife likes them, and this is her tank. This is our living room tank, and this is the tank that she takes care of. Well, not take care of. She scapes it and stocks it. I do the rest of the work. So you see there's mollies in here and all the guppies. So we keep these the parameters high. We do like keeping the pH at around 8, and we keep a lot of we keep the water hard. So if you look in the back there, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if she buried up, but back there somewhere we do have crushed coral in there to keep the pH high. I think she might have covered it, but yeah, I can't really see it in there, but it's buried behind those rocks. Anyway, you can see you can see the plant growth that we have is pretty good. Started using Easy Green in this tank, so I'm hoping to get these plants to grow high. The one tall plant right there is growing like crazy. Looks like the growth is great, and this is a low light tank. This is one of those old-fashioned LED lights, and nothing special. But as you can see, we have guppies and mollies, and there's a Chinese Siamese algae eater in there. A bunch of cories that are hanging out somewhere in the bottom. You don't really see them there. They're usually down in the bottom. I don't know if you can see them in there, but for the most part, they hide and take care of the stuff on the bottom of the tank. But yeah, this is our guppy tank, and those are the 5 guppies we added. Like I said, we lost one to quarantine, so the rest of them look pretty good. And that's the one thing we did yesterday, is add these fish, And we like the way that tank is looking. Hopefully these plants grow a little higher. And like I said, we keep this tank at the pH level, and the hardness is very, very good, very high for the fish that they breed. There's actually a bumblebee goby in there. I think I showed you guys last time that lives in this tank too. And people say he needs brackish water, but you know, brackish could mean different things. You know, we keep this tank pretty much mineral high, so I wouldn't necessarily consider it brackish. I do have a brackish tank inside the fish room, but anyway, that's the update in this tank. I'm still looking for those cories, but they're probably in there somewhere. But usually they're floating around. Anyway, let's go to the next thing we did. Come around here into the fish room. Wanted to show you the update we did on the Angelfish Tank. If you look real close, down here we added the fish that we bought. They're geophagus. They're already going in the sand and digging it up. And there's some Bolivian rams we got that are in there. We're very happy with that. So those fish can live together. There's, you know, keyhole cichlids, there's Bolivian rams, there's geophagus. The geophagus, you can see, they'll sift through the dirt or the sand, which is why I got them. But there's plenty of hiding spots for them. They're kind of small. They won't pick on the angelfish. I've had them before in Angelfish Tank, but that's what we did to that tank. The growth in this tank isn't that great right now. I'm not too crazy about it. I know the sand, but we'll be adding more plants to this tank. But the problem with this tank, I was using the Easy Green, but then one of the angelfish in here must have freaked out and hit his eye on one of the pieces of driftwood, and looks like he got Popeye too. And so I treated him with Melafix in this tank, and unfortunately the Melafix didn't work, and actually lost an angelfish in here. I think I might have added too much to the tank, but you never know. You live and learn. I think I probably shouldn't have treated this tank with Melafix. I probably should have took the fish out, but unfortunately all three of my quarantine tanks were in use. So I lost the fish. Unfortunately, we have another issue with Popeye with one of my other fish. If you watched the other video, I got coming out actually. But yeah, it's kind of tough. But anyway, sometimes it happens. Fish injure themselves, so you have to have the right medicine on hand. And I think I might have mixed the Melafix with the Easy Green, and I had some salt, so it might have been too much to add to the tank. But hey, sometimes you do things and you make a mistake, and I think that was a mistake I made. I probably should have moved some fish around and got them in a quarantine. So anyway, so those fish are added. We hope to add the 3 more angelfish that we got, and that should do it for that tank. I'm hoping that these smaller fish will ease up the angelfish so they don't freak out as much. I may have to buy some dither fish for this tank, possibly. Cat was trying to get out, so sorry about that. I had to block that from happening. But so we might be adding, we definitely added 3 more angelfish, and that'll probably be it for the angelfish. And if we do have any issues with these guys jumping, and I really haven't seen them jump that much, but for some reason he has some Popeye, and I think the biggest reason for Popeye is because of them hitting their eye and something. So anyway, some things are unexplainable. You can't figure it out. Unfortunately, there's loss in this hobby. Whenever you're taking care of animals, you try to do the best you can, but fortunately it didn't work out. But anyway, so this tank is pretty much stocked up. Like I said, we want to do more plants in here, get more growth. Eventually we'll use the Easy Green again. I don't want to dose it while they were sick, so I'll wait till I do it once a week. We'll wait till once a week again. But the geophagus are already doing their job, sifting through the sand, and we're happy with the way the Bolivian rams look in there. So that's the update in that tank. Now, we did yesterday, I was in here and I took this whole tank apart. Okay, the puffer tank. Had some really bad algae in here. I took everything apart and we pretty much cleaned everything in here. And we also used some Fosguard. This is a saltwater tank. It's actually not saltwater. It's brackish, but we get a lot of brown algae in there. So we're trying to limit that with the Fosguard. And obviously, I took everything apart yesterday and cleaned it by hand. Now, whenever you clean anything that you take out of the tank, you always want to be careful. Now, I use vinegar on this thing, and you could also use hydrogen peroxide. So we used both, and it actually did a pretty good job. So that was full of green algae. We cleaned it off. We actually moved that one to the left, that rock to the left. We moved that out of the grow out tank in here. So we switched that around. We put some different stuff in there because these guys are chasing each other as usual, and the jaguars and the firemouth. So what I did was take the rocks out of there because I'm feeling that they were scraping against that rock, that big one. So I'll give these guys that rock because they have more cover now. Looks like they're hiding in there, these rock puffers. They usually come out at night when I feed them. But yeah, so that tank is all cleaned up. Still don't like the fact that we have a bunch of algae in there, but hoping that Fosguard helps. If not, we might have to change the lighting on here. I heard a red light works. Now I got a quarantine tank open, so in case we get more fish, we might have to do that. We're not sure what we're going to do yet. But actually, I did some changes on the 40-gallon high, which is right here. I did move some stuff around in there, and we added those scissor tail rasboras, which we had in this tank, 55-gallon, because I do want to add. We put the Roseline Sharks in here because I lost another one, and I feel, and he was perfectly healthy, so I'm feeling that he jumped out of the tank again or hit the top of his head. So I put him in this tank now. There's 2 left out of the 4 I had in there, and I will be adding another 4 more to this tank. So the Roseline Sharks will be in the 55-gallon. Eventually we'll have to move the other sharks that are in there. But for now, the Roseline Sharks get about 6 inches, so we're not really worried about moving them out of there. We want to get some more rainbows and some more of those Roseline Sharks, but eventually the Baylor Sharks, that's the shark I'm talking about, we'll have to move when they get bigger, and we'll find a room for them. But eventually I will be adding more rainbows. I want to get some turquoise rainbows and some Roseline bars to that tank, and then I'll move the Baylor Sharks, and that'll be it for the 55-gallon. But the 45-gallon, the 40-gallon we have in here obviously has the gourami, and we added the scissor tail rasboras. I don't usually move fish out of a bigger tank to a smaller tank, but I figured it was only 15 gallons. These guys usually school together at the top of the tank, and it just gives me more filler for this tank, and I think we'll be done with this tank. I do want to add some more tetras in there. The ones that we lost, the red-eye tetras and the red fin tetra. But other than that, we think we're pretty. Oh, the phantom tetra too I like, and I want to get some more emperor tetras. So I mean, this tank looks overstocked right now, but once we figure out what we're going to do with the Roseline Sharks or the Baylor Sharks, we'll probably move those rasboras back into the 50-gallon, 55-gallon. But they're so peaceful, and they go about 5 inches, and that's about as big as they're going to get. So, and the Roseline Sharks, from what I've read, they get about 6 to 8 inches, but they need more swimming room. Obviously, I don't think they had enough room in the 40-gallon, and they would try to swim out of the tank. But I've noticed a big difference in all these fish since I moved them from the 30-gallon. They all like to swim back and forth, which is a good thing. I may eventually get a bigger tank, 75-gallon, we'll see. But yeah, Roseline Sharks are in there. There's only 2 left, unfortunately. And the raspberries are in here. So for now, that's what we're gonna do. We'll see what happens. But that tank's probably gonna stay like that for a while. I won't be buying any fish anytime soon, I don't think, because I'll be getting my next test done at the hospital. So we'll see what happens. But if I do come across any tetras that I like, that I want to put in this tank with the small ones, I will be getting them and put them in quarantine. But for now, we have open quarantine tanks. If we do get any more sick fish, will be going in there. And then the bottom here, there's 3 koi angelfish and a flying fox that's going to go in this tank for the black algae. And those guys are in they're in anti-parasite right now. So once we get them all treated up, we'll get them in that tank, and that tank will be pretty much stocked. So as of right now, I think we're pretty much stocked with fish. As soon as we get the angelfish in there, we'll have open quarantine tanks. But there's always fish that I look at to see. I'm thinking about maybe stocking a 55-gallon cichlid tank. As you can see, there's some room in there. Dempsey got big, and there's the other guy who likes to hang out in there is there's a green terror. Which you can see him coming right now. I was hoping to move those guys into the big 175, but it looks like we're going to be keeping Frank for now. He's doing much better in there. He's more comfortable now. He's eating very good. So I know the tank looks overstocked, but we're going to keep it that way for now until we see what Vance is doing. He's still got some issues going on. But we moved some stuff around that tank. Frank looks much happier in there. For some reason, they want to hang out at one side of the tank, which is kind of silly. But those guys are happy in there. And, I do a 50% water change in that tank once a week. So they're good, they're fine. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. That's what we did. Did a lot of work yesterday, and we're liking the way it looks. So we'll update it next time. But for right now, I think we're pretty much stocked and pretty much done for now. I always like to have tetras in school. So there's only 2 emperor tetras in there. There's only 1 red-eye tetra, 1 red-tail tetra. So I like to pretty much have them in school. So I might just add two more of each when I go to the pet store. So I get paid on Monday, so I might be doing that. Anyway, until then, if you can't own them, rehome them. Very, very important. Until next time, have a great day. Like, subscribe, comment. I will respond to your comments. I will respond to your likes. And keep doing it. And make sure you join us on the stream on Thursdays at 4. And anything goes. We talk about anything except for politics and religion. All right? Have a good day, guys. See you next time.